Welcome to a special edition of Resilient Minds 365, the podcast. My name is Cleone Crawford, and I'm here with a special bulletin, basically. Today is another sad day. Today, we will be talking about another Black woman that has been hospitalized in a mental health hospital in London against her will. She is a woman. She is a Black woman known in her community who has done great things in the community. She's a mother to two children. She just loves to help people. She's a fashion designer who was a fashion designer in African Fashion Week, and she's just like us. Her name is ANITA ABOAGYRE. And today I want to talk about getting a justice for ANITA. ANITA needs your help. So let's hear ANITA's story. So this is what she has written to me and told me what her story was. Break it down to 2018. March of 2018, my son called the ambulance claiming that I wanted to eat my newborn baby. Mind you, nobody considered depression or postpartum depression. I had just had a baby on my own without anyone's assistance or anyone's help. To clarify, I went to the hospital on a bus, and when I got to the hospital, as I'm in the hospital right now, I even had the baby not on the maternity side of the hospital. I actually had the baby on the psych ward because the numbers, the floor, the people, everything basically matches where I had my daughter, which is fine. Thank God that she's alive and she's good. After this incident, they kept me in PICU, basically supposedly assessing and monitoring. They said I'm too happy, or I'm being too happy for someone who just endured or gone through whatever that I just went through, which I thought was the most stupidest thing you could ever tell someone who just had a baby by herself and dealing with teenage boys at home. Now, upon that particular, what do you call paramedics being called, when they came to the door, they literally grabbed my baby out of my hand and gave my baby to my son and told me that I did not have anything or any right to have, and they have to take me to the mental health institute or whatever. So because I did not want to create a scene, I just let go of the baby. And they literally just pushed me into the ambulance and brought me to the psych ward. Upon arriving, I know that somebody put something in my mouth that made me start to hallucinate. But all of them claimed that they did not. After 6 months of being held, I got a lawyer, and obviously they were not able to hold me any further because I was held literally without medication and based off their own monitorization that I don't have any mental illness. But at that current moment, the so-called doctor, her name is Priya Subramanian, and Priya told them that I have manic depression or manic something. Now, 6 years later, my son literally said that I called him a demon, and he's worried that I called him a demon. He called my mom, my brother, and basically the whole process of him calling my mom and my brother, it just did not make sense because I had nothing that I was doing that was interrupting what he wants to do with himself. But somehow he felt the need to call the police. These people arrested me and put handcuffs on my hands in front of my 6-year-old daughter, which is a shame, a big shame. After cuffing me and bringing me to the psych ward, again, the monetization. Again, same process. They have no merit to hold me whatsoever. I know that they're putting things in my food, and I know that they're putting things in my water just so that they can have me how they want me. But regardless of whatever they're doing, you know what? I'm dealing with it. One step at a time. Food, I request, I don't receive. Change of clothes, I don't receive. I've been in the same panties for a whole week because the last time I was maltreated, someone tried to rape me and shove their body parts into my mouth where while I was here, held in B200 floor. Due to that reason, I actually just document and journal every single day who my nurse is, who comes in to check on me, and so forth. So in terms of the form they put me on, I don't have a current copy of it. But what I have copies of are the notes that have been taken from day one. Well, I just went to the nurse, asked for a copy of the forms that they have on me, and she says it's a Form 30. I was told it was a Form 3, and then someone told me it was a Form 33. So I'm waiting for a copy because I don't have one. So guys, that's her story. This is a woman who is an outstanding woman in the community. She, like I said, is a fashion designer. She's a woman of great reputation, but on record, she's been listed as mentally ill. We don't know exactly what the mental illness is. But one thing we do know is that not all mental illnesses walk straight. Some mental illnesses are spiritual and some mental illnesses are physical. One of the backstories is that this woman, Anita, just recently came back from Ghana, and while down there had suffered some traumatic situations while in Ghana. And ever since she's been back, she's been experiencing a lot of challenges since she's been back. And unfortunately, a family member of hers was responsible for calling the police on her and having her detained and now locked up in an involuntary form. The forms that she has showed me that she has is that she is involuntary, which means she's listed under the Psychiatric Patient Advocate's Office listed as involuntary status. What does that mean? Involuntary status means that this is when a doctor has signed a certificate of involuntary admission, Form 3 regarding her. This means she's an involuntary patient in the psychiatric facility for up to 2 weeks. And as an involuntary patient, she must remain in the facility and not have the right to leave unless she has permission from the doctor, like, for example, with a pass or with privileges. She would have to receive written notice of a notice, the patient, a Form 30. The doctor, Form 30 tells you that an involuntary, as per the Form 3, signed by the doctor, will tell her when it will expire. It will tell her the reasons why the doctor signed the Form 3 admitting her as an involuntary patient. And then a rights advisor would visit her to provide her information, answer questions, and assist them carry out decisions. If she disagrees with the doctor's decision to admit her as an involuntary patient, she can speak to the doctor to ask whether the doctor thinks her status can be changed to voluntary, which is a voluntary patient which may leave the hospital at her own volition, or she can apply to the Consent and Capacity Board, which is using a Form 16 for a review of the doctor's decision. The board can decide whether she is an involuntary patient or not. A Form 16 application is available from the rights advisor of the hospital staff. So this woman, according to the documents that I have here, her name is, the person that I'm talking about, her name is ANITA ABOAGYRE from London, Ontario. And she's on a Form 33. And basically it says that she would be causing bodily harm to herself and serious physical impairment of herself. And pretty much that's it. So I'm here today to say that we want justice for Anita. We are demanding that you release her from the hospital, let her see her doctor, her daughter, and let her go back home. We are sick and tired of Black, Indigenous, people of color being maltreated by doctors who don't understand our culture, our heritage, or anything, and things that make us who we are. We are demanding her release today, and we're demanding it now. My name is Cleone Crawford. I am the host of Resilient Mind 365, and this is Cleone Crawford signing off.